Good morning, everyone. This is the Double Take Podcast. I'm your host, Twaun X. This is another episode of Did You Know? Today's topic is cow chip tea. What is cow chip tea? Cow chip tea is a tea made out of old, dried out cow manure. Yes, folks, you heard me correctly. It is cow crap. And apparently, humans and probably some of our ancestors actually drank this to heal themselves. Specifically, I know of on written document of cold and flu and pneumonia, but they also helped. And this knowledge is from word of mouth for digestive ailments. It was a whole assortment of things that it cured. Now, this tea was made by collecting cow manure, drying it out for, I believe, at least 3 months. They are telling us that the longer it dried out, the better, and they would stir it going up into that time period because that would help it cure. They would then, after it was cured for long enough and somebody would have gotten sick, they would have put it in a cloth and then boiled it for at least 30 minutes. And when they boiled it for at least 30 minutes, some people would add their own twist to it. It definitely had the dried out old cow manure. It had ginseng leaves. I believe it had mutton leaves. And some people would also put like lemon, honey, whiskeys in it. And I've read reports that it had the similar effects of like marijuana, which is not surprising to me because if you take pretty much any medication today, there's going to be some type of side effects or drowsiness associated with it. So this is a very interesting subject. It came about especially for the Black communities during this time period because they definitely lacked resources dealing with the Jim Crow era of that time period and segregation. So they pretty much had to heal themselves, and they had a lack of resources in comparison to their social counterparts. They would basically they were dying off, and this became quote unquote a magic bullet for our community. And as it spread, it began to actually save people's lives. Now, I don't believe we studied enough to get the exact scientific implications of how it's healed people, but it definitely healed people. I just think that this subject hasn't been investigated and researched enough for us to thoroughly explain it. It sounds crazy and mind-boggling, but it definitely occurred. It has definitely been a part of our history. I know that it has been passed down through African lineages. I've read about the Caddo Indians. I know the Cherokee Indians from one of the tribes that my family is descended from. Also, I'm sure the South Americans had some knowledge of this. We've been separated from a lot of that information just due to time. So it's definitely something that is a very interesting subject, and I thought that you guys should share, and you should definitely do some research on it. Who knows, man? I mean, something could happen, and Lord forbid there's some type of world war or something. But I mean, if somebody was to get sick, hey, I mean, nobody wants to drink cow crap. I understand that. I mean, it doesn't sound appealing to me, but you know, if you're in your deathbed, I mean, you're probably going to be willing to try anything. So it's definitely an old root doctor recipe, and it is an interesting subject, and you guys should look further into it. That will be it for this episode of Did You Know? I hope you actually were enlightened by this subject, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.